Leila Viss. It's so lovely to have a chat with you. We haven't seen each other in person in such a long time, but hopefully after COVID, we will be able to catch up again soon.
I sure hope so, Paul. It's been a long time and it's really nice to see you and hear your voice.
And I've just been listening to some of your podcasts. Well, I've been listening for quite a while. It's how long have you been doing it now?
Oh, I started last year.
And what's it called?
It's called Key Ideas,
hmm
and it's been on my bucket list to start a podcast. And from what I'm hearing, it's the new blogging. And I kind of was wondering who is reading my blogs? Who's reading after I write that all? So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try a podcast. And luckily, I have a good friend who lives just down the road, who's my producer, and he is into podcasting as well. So I don't think I would have done it without having a good tech support.
It's essential for everyone, I think, tech
Hmm.
support.
Definitely, yes.
And I liked the title of your new series, From Survival to Revival. So tell me about that.
Well, last year we that's what we did. We all survived. Now I know you were in Australia and now you're kind of in survival mode.
We are.
You watched the rest of the world kind of clamp down and into lockdown and have to pivot quickly. And when you would pivot quickly and when you have to change things in a flash, I don't think
Mm.
we realize what that does to our brains. And so I feel like I've had to really step back and think about, whoa, what all happened? And then let's figure out, how am I going to step forward and what happened in the past? How is that going to inform my decisions in the future?
Mm.
And I liked the word survival. I thought that was a good word. And then I really liked the word revival because they rhyme. So that's kind of how it came to me. And then I don't know if you noticed this, but in the new season, I have a new theme song.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
thought, I like to be creative. I like a reason to create things. So last year's theme I created as well. This year's theme I've also composed as well. And it's based on an old gospel tune, Revive Us Again.
hmm
So some people recognize it, some people don't. I don't really care, but I think that's what kind of got me into this revival mode.
Oh, that's great. And your first person that you had on was Wendy Stevens from Compose Create.
Exactly. And that was a big deal because she doesn't really offer herself up all that much because she's busy. She's got a family. She just has to really limit her time speaking and all that kind of stuff. And we are good friends. We've been friends for a long, long time.
Mm.
And so it really was fun to catch up with her. And I think what I like about the conversations that I have with people is that they are quite transparent and we dig beyond the piano teaching world, the music teaching world, and get into the human side of
Mm.
that. And that fascinates me. I love everything about teaching. I love pedagogy, but there's a personal side that
Mm.
sometimes I think can get lost along the way. So
Mm.
I would say that is what sets my podcast apart from all the other fantastic podcasts that suddenly popped up in the piano world.
There's lots of them.
There
And
are.
talking about podcasters, you've had Tim Topham on,
Hmm.
and another very good friend of ours, Samantha Coates, as well,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Bradley Sowash. And I noticed one. I haven't listened to it about yoga.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, okay, Paul, you're all about whole body movement, right?
I am
I
all
know.
about
So
whole body
my guess
learning.
is you do so much of this already. But Leslie McAllister, Dr. Leslie McAllister, I should add, is just a fantastic. She has such a good way of balancing the music framework with the yoga framework. So she is a trained yogi. She's
hmm
steeped in that, and but she's also a pianist herself and a teacher, a professor at Baylor University, and really manages to combine both of them. And I really liked the conversation that I shared with her because it was yoga based and helping us to feel more aware of our bodies at the piano, but also yoga can help with anxiety and the stress of performing and all that kind of stuff. So um, I I really want to integrate more yoga into my piano lessons, and it doesn't have to be a lot. And that's what we talked about too. It can just be a little bit, but
Mm.
even breathing, be more aware
Oh,
of how we
absolutely.
take in breath. Yes. Do
Yeah,
you do that yourself, Paul?
absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
you do. Okay.
Doing singing lessons and things like that is all about, not that I teach singing, but just having done a lot of singing lessons and doing yoga. It's just so great for your body.
It is. And, I thought my students would not, I thought they would think it was a little weird. And so I just started with just, okay, let's just roll your shoulders up and down, like, and then just let them set. And then, one of them was just running their hands across the piano this way and realizing that they have all this space on either side of them. And I showed them a couple of things, and a lot of them took to it. They liked that routine, just a
Mm.
little bit of more of awareness before they jump in and start playing. So I really want to make a point of doing that more. So thank you for reminding me to do that.
Well, thank you for telling me about it. I'm going to
Yes.
go and listen to that one now.
Good. Good. Yes. I
And
highly recommend it.
yeah, and Bradley Sowash is just amazing, and I remember I listened to that podcast at Christmas time, last year, and just thought, oh, just love hearing what Bradley so talking about backing tracks and things like that. It was just, or click tracks and things, just brilliant. And I just agree with everything that you guys were talking about. It was so lovely to listen to.
Well, and I challenge you to take Angels We Have, I think we talked about Angels We Have Heard on High, a Christmas
Mm,
Carol, and
yeah,
how to funkify it. I think that's the
yeah,
name
that
of
was
it.
fantastic.
So, right after that episode, I got down and I funkified Angels We Have. So, I challenge you come December, see if you can try it yourself because it was so much fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's brilliant. And we're talking about composing. You've got this other thing called composium. Tell me about
Oh,
that.
yes. Ooh, thanks for asking. Paul, this is one of those things where I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, and I've been thinking about this idea for a while. And one of the things that I listen to is that, if there's an idea out there and if you don't do something about it, somebody else will take that idea and do something with it. And so I decided to go with my idea that felt really strange to me, that felt like it felt one more thing to do. I don't have time for it right now, but let's do it anyway. So, yes, it's called a composium, and I call it an 8+8 composium. And
Hmm.
it's based around the discussions that I have with my mom, who is a quilter. I would call her a textile artist. She's got things in galleries around the nation, and she goes to workshops all the time where fellow quilters work together in the same room, and they peek over each other's shoulders and say, "Oh, what are you doing? Oh, that looks cool." And they're inspired by each other. So I thought,
Mm.
oh, now wouldn't that be fun to grab some teachers and let's take 8 teachers and let's work together. Let's workshop. Let's sandbox ideas 8 bars at a time. So, what I did is I crafted this course now that is 4 weeks long. And
Hmm.
every 4 weeks, we work on a new 8 bars. So, by the end, we will have basically an ABA piece with an intro and an outro, is what I call it, and a bridge. So there's maybe a few more than 8 bars. And then they're also going to notate it in
Hmm.
Note Flight. So they're learning how to use Note Flight, and then they're going to create a cover for their piece in Canva, which is my all-time favorite place to go for creating any
Just
kind of
brilliant, isn't it?
graphics.
We love
Mm-hmm.
Canva.
Yeah, I think that's why I was late to this, because I was maybe in Canva. Sorry. So I'm really excited. I have a group of 8 started, and they're going to finish next week, and I have another group of 8 that just started last week. So it's one of those things where I didn't know if anybody was going to come. I had one person sign up, and then it was crickets. I'm like, oh, maybe not. And then all of a sudden, word got out. So I'm excited about it. Thanks for asking.
Oh, it looks brilliant. I might have to come and join. I love
Ooh,
your
that'd be fun.
I love your compositions that you do.
Oh,
So
thank
which you've
you.
got available at your website. So people can find out about that at leilaviss.com. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a little pop up. You'll notice it pop up quite soon, and you can sign up for a wait list, is what I have right now. So, depending on what kind of interest, every time I have a group of 8, I'll probably start another course and go from there. And of course, I'm going to get lots of feedback from these first, I don't know, I call them pioneers, the risk takers, to dive in and do this first with me.
Yeah,
I'm so
brilliant.
appreciative of their bravery.
Fantastic. Great to have you on, Leila. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Paul, and all the best to all your projects.